But the project at hand, while we're waiting for those to dry, is I'm going to start taking these apart and cleaning them up. It's got these old plastic, yellowish, wavy plastic lenses for the lights. I like the lights. I like the style on it. And I'm sure they weren't cheap when they were bought. And new fixtures would be very, expensive because I got to put 5 of them up. So I think we talked in previous video that we painted those last year. That hammered, I think it was hammered black. But I've got a bronzy color I think that we're going to do on these. So I went and got a quote at a local glass company to have these, 25 of these cut, and then I had them made 5 extra, so 30 altogether. In this dimensions, I think it was a little over $90 for labor and $130 total for the material. But that would be a darn sight cheaper doing it that way by replacing the lenses. And it's kind of a, I think I said this yesterday, kind of a rain pattern in the glass. I thought it was cool. The problem was finding glass that I could get that was that thickness of 1/8 of an inch. There was a bunch of different ones that I really liked, but I couldn't get it as thin as 1/8 of an inch. So we were able to find one that was pretty cool from one distributor or manufacturer of glass. So I'll be placing that order on Tuesday because tomorrow is Memorial Day. They'll be closed. And I'll get these lights cleaned up and probably painted. I may even get them up, put them up, because I can always put the glass in after they're up. That's no big deal. All right, there you go. So they slide down into these brackets right here. So we'll get them all cleaned up, get this stuff out of here, get all the bugs. One of them had, I want that one. That one's got spider webs in it. This one here, look at this. Nice mud dauber's nest up inside. So that's all going to be cleaned out. Alright, so this is definitely not some kind of cast iron, it's some kind of pot metal. Okay, so all I'm doing is I'm taking off any really rough edges with a larger rectangular file. You want to help?
Yeah.
Come here. Take the file. And you're going to rub it back and forth like Papa was doing. Okay, here.
I want to sit down.
Well, there's no place for you to sit down. Why don't you just try? Here's a little one you can do it with.
That's a knife.
Not a knife, it's file. Feel it. Okay?
Yeah, but it's hot.
Yeah?
Papa, do it. Do the big one. Papa, look at mine.
I know, you're doing a good job.
What's this down line snap?
Don't bang, you got a file. It's not a hammer, it's a file.
Or a knife, because I was acting like that way.
Let's see if we can get this little burr off here. See it right there? Can you take the file and file that off?
Maybe.
There you go. Here, you want to use the bigger one in Papa's hand?
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Don't it around. I don't.
No, dude, that's the handle. You're doing it. Hold on, there.
Oh.
There you go. Hold on. Let me get you a different file because you're turning that one. How about
this?
How about this one?
I want to do this one.
How about that? Try that one first. There you go.
Is it coming off?
Yeah, keep working on it.
I can't get it. It's not coming off. What about we just use a
Well, that's just a brush, honey. We're trying to get the metal off of here, so hold that for Papa. Thanks.
all? Pop, stop.
What do you think?
Yeah.
A little bit more. What do you think?
Yeah.
Nice and flat now?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, well, thank you for your help. That was a big help.
Yep.
So this one broke off. That nut would not come off. It was welded on. That's what happens when you have two dissimilar metals. This is aluminum and this is some kind of pot metal. And they were frozen together. Carter and I sprayed this down with WD-40, let it soak, still couldn't get it off. So eventually ended up twisting off from here. So what we'll do is we'll go down to Lowe's later on, we'll get a new one of these, and should work just fine. I went ahead and instead of doing that bronzy color, I went with the black hammered paint. And this specific product is a Rust-Oleum product. Works real nice. Got the caps painted up. So we got them all cleaned up as I showed you in an earlier video, and we painted them. So what I'm going to do is just set these in a box and then spray paint the tops of them. Okay, the power has been turned off to these, so we're going to have to strip the wires back so we can get started. Sipping my coffee with my flash shirt. They make a Romex stripper tool you pull on there and it strips the casing off. Hate those tools. Usually, if you learn how to do it with a utility knife and you're careful you don't cut the covering on the wire, because that could be bad. All right, so I showed you earlier in an earlier video when we took these apart, they had cut and never used the ground on this. So when we redid this switch in the inside and that work up in the junction box, I hooked all of, that's the wire coming from the light, I had hooked all of the grounds back up. So they're grounded at the switch inside the door, okay, which goes back to the panel box, which is grounded, and then I ground it here too. Not sure why they did that, but we're going to do it the right way and by code, okay? The city requires that that ground is hooked up to the light. All right, so guess what? We're in luck. This little electrician's machine screw assortments, and lo and behold, green ground screw. Yay! So we're going to do that. Okay, I'll show you what we did here. All right, so I won't need to use a pigtail, so that idea is gone. So we went with a ground screw. Remember, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, so you want it to come around your screw and go this way. So as you turn the screw and the screw tightens down, it draws that end and tightens it down. So now that box is grounded correctly. So when we put these plates on here and then the light to those plates, everything is grounded. Since I can't get my torpedo level into that small of an area to level this, we'll get the light on first and then we'll level the light. But there you go. So this is secured to your box. If you notice, I used a drill driver and then I hand tightened to make sure that they were tightened properly. The ground, as we said, is grounded. Here's the power supply, the black, and then the white is your neutral, okay? And I will go ahead and make up the rest of the boxes like this. That one over there, and then I'm gonna take that light off. I've already, the electricity kids are, that light is on the same circuit as the TV, Yay for the electrician who wired that, right? So they're watching TV. So what I did is I taped the switch off with a bunch of electrical tape inside. So you can't turn it on until I untape it. And then, of course, we got parents in there watching them, but look at all the bugs, mosquitoes, spiders have been busy already. So we're gonna take that down and I'll do the same thing with that. These are done. That's that hammered black. I think it came out pretty nice, you know, give it a good look to it. So let's go ahead and we're gonna start reassembling these. All right, so there is the lock washer that goes over. And that gets fed down through the hole in the bottom, and then this nut goes on. That decorative piece. And then the two wires get fed through this hole that comes out the back. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, so you guys see, I'm gonna spin this so they're both, and then we want them to be down in the light a little bit. All right, so there we go. They're down in there. All right. Here's so much wire hanging out of the back. See how those are all corroded right there? We're gonna snip those off. And then this is 14 gauge stranded wire, so on your wire strippers you're going to have different 10 gauge, 12 gauge, 14 gauge. So this is 14, that up there is 12. So just use it, line it up. I take about ½ inch, so this is stranded. So we're going to twist that stranded wire up to make it more like a solid wire. Stranded wire works real well under a wire nut. I'm not an electrician. I don't play one during the daytime. Okay, so most of this I've learned working around electricians on job sites over the years. And since this is my own house, I can do it. If it's not your house, you need to follow your local codes and regulations. And if you're required to have an electrician come in, then you come in and have them come in and do it. Here in Illinois, this is my piece of property, so I'm allowed to do it. However, I follow all codes. That is up. Now, I had to use a smaller screw, which we will get a little spray paint, spray it on a little cardboard, dab the brush into it, and then paint that and get that looking right. This is the one that broke yesterday when we getting it apart, and that is the new replacement pieces from, I just went down to Lowe's, went down to the lighting section and got a new one. So we're gonna now replace this light, which doesn't fit with the house at all. Get that thing out of there and then mount this one. So that's next. Okay, everybody, it's been 2 weeks and the glass has finally arrived. I picked it up this morning before heading to work. I had dropped off for the glass cutter this light. I had taken it down and brought it to them, and they've already gone ahead and put in 2 panes of glass for me. They suggested that I run a bead of silicone up here just so they don't rattle. So what we'll go ahead and do is get all the glass in, we'll get all this old amber out, and then when we're done, we'll show you what it looks like. See if I can do this one-handed. On the tops of each one so they don't rattle.
busy. Yeah. So I'll run a bead on the tops of these and seal them in, okay? Here's the old amber plastic. Oop, threw that on the ground. Here's another. And there's the new glass. So, I was saying, $130 to have the glass cut. What's a can of spray paint? $5? $8? All right, and it would have cost me far more if I had bought all brand new fixtures. And, you know, the fixtures are nice. They're a little dated, but they are kind of nice. And it was a good way to save some money. And it was a fun little project to do. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you like, do me a favor, subscribe, give us a thumbs up down below. Let us know if you like what we're doing. All right, thanks again. We'll see you later. Bye. Just when you thought this video was over. All right, so Ray's got, what is this? Those are those relax, the clear bulb. That's that one there. It's kind of hard to see with the video because it kind of washes out, but that one with the naked eye clearly looks like a light bulb. This one here just looks like a spot of light. So I think, Ray, we'll probably go with that one. What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that looks a lot better. Like I said, really hard to see in the video here, but this is what it turned out at night. I hope you guys like the project. We'll talk to you later. Thanks.